on a jackass.
Alright, Lincoln and his wife are at the play.
Oh, Figaro, 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 Figaro.
When suddenly, John Wilkes Booth shoots Lincoln.
Oh.
Wilkes is immediately stopped by police.
My phone.
Solemnly swear to uphold the Constitution and obey the laws of the United States.
I, Andrew Johnson, solemnly swear to uphold the Constitution and protect this union which was so valiantly fought for during our Civil War.
And then, when Johnson was inaugurated, he was faced with three main issues, each one over the national debate of Reconstruction, which are: how should the Confederacy rejoin the Union? Who should establish the terms, the Congress or the President? What should the place of former slaves be in political life in the South? Next time, flush that damn toilet!
When Johnson entered the presidency with the 13th Amendment ratified, it abolished slavery. However, even with the ratification of this amendment, freedmen, the term applied to free African Americans after the Civil War, faced a new issue, the Black Codes. Now, these were a set of restrictions on African Americans' rights and freedoms. In order to help the freedmen, Congress wanted to pass extension of the Freedmen's Bureau Act and the Civil Rights Act.
I propose the extension of the Freedmen's Bureau in order to help our African American citizens get involved in everyday society without any problem. And I propose the Civil Rights Bill in order to counteract the Black Codes. All for this bill, say aye.
Aye.
Send this to Johnson. Sir.
Congress is trying to pass this new bill. Let's see. The extension of Freedmen's Bureau Act and the Civil Rights Bill. I veto this bill because I am against African American rights.
By vetoing the extension of Freedmen's Bureau Act and the Civil Rights Bill, and by firing the Secretary of War, Johnson inadvertently led to his ultimate demise. He created a congressional and presidential power struggle that eventually led to his future impeachment crisis.
Johnson, you have been vetoing all our bills, and you also need your own reconstruction plan before we came back into office.
You violated the Tenure of Office Act by firing the Secretary of War.
We're going to impeach you.
You can't impeach me, I'm the president.
We'll take a vote.
As Johnson began his presidential term, Congress was out of session. During that time, Johnson was able to pass his own Reconstruction Acts. This greatly infuriated Congress when they met to discuss Reconstruction with Johnson to find that he had passed his acts without their consent. This was the beginning of Congress' contempt towards the new president. Johnson's vetoes did not move Congress from their dislike, but instead, they further pushed them towards disdain for Johnson. However, they had no actual reason that allowed them to impeach Johnson until his violation of the Tenure of Office Act. Now, Congress could take Johnson to court.
Okay, go. Order. Order in the court. All in favor of keeping the president, say aye.
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 All in favor of impeaching the president, say aye.
Aye.
Mister, you have not voted yet. Would you like to keep or would you like to impeach the president?
Keep.
The president shall be kept. The court is adjourned.
So, Johnson was a very lucky president indeed. Although he was in conflict with Congress over his veto's violation and Congress's refusal to seat the newly appointed Southern delegates, he was saved by one vote. The justification for the savior was the disruptive effect impeaching the president could have on government power. Johnson's conflict resulted in the unification of the radical and moderate Republican parties and Congress's new power over Reconstruction. This power granted Congress the ability to pass a new Reconstruction Act, which prevented ex-Confederate leaders from voting or holding office after re-entering the Union, and placed the territories under military rule. However, Johnson's actions had paved the way to a new danger. Damn nigger! Hit his leg. Get him again. Nigga, that 50% should have never been passed.
I have the right to freedom. Why must you oppress me?
That's it.
Towards the end of Johnson's presidency in 1868, new dangers arose for freed African American. Violent actions and assaults toward the freedmen were not uncommon in the South during this period. However, more organized beatings and threats resulted from the rise of secret terrorist organization established in Tennessee. The group was known as the Ku Klux Klan, or KKK for short. The objective of this organization was to intimidate African American in order to prevent African American from exercising the rights granted to them by the 14th and 15th Amendments. Hostility grew to the point of an open massacre in New Orleans. This massacre, which erupted in the meeting hall, eventually made its way onto the street, resulted in the 3 Republican and 40 African American mortalities. However, under General Grant's presidency, terrorist activity was minimized and suspected organization followers were arrested and tried.
You! Halt!
E,
Yes.
why am I being
You're
stuck?
suspected of being involved with the secret organization, the Ku Klux Klan.
What? Organization Ku Klux Klan? What are you referring to, sir?
Don't backtalk me. You know what I'm referring to.
Backtalk you? Sir, you're violating my right. President Ulysses S. Grant helped lessen the violent assaults and aggressions towards African Americans in the ex-Confederate Southern states. His employment of military rule in Southern states made it possible for African Americans to form a minority or majority, as is the case of South Carolina, of the legislations in Southern states. Although African Americans continue to face discrimination and hostility, martial rule made it easier for them to live some of their life without fear. In order to make all of this possible, Grant had to suspend habeas corpus. When suspected civilians were arrested for involvement with the KKK, African Americans were able to partake in government decisions and acquire government positions. African Americans felt it was their responsibility to better educational possibilities for other African Americans. To them, success for their cause laid in educated African Americans moving up the ladder of society. Grant was incapable of truly fulfilling his presidential requirements, but nonetheless, he had a major impact on African American life in the South.